We're going to do one more. I'm already recording now, so just jump right in. Mike Sutton here with the Be Build Have podcast, and Jade and I have been doing this fun series for the last hour or so. You'll hear it dripped out over a couple weeks, but we're talking about inner child healing and how our past affects our present, and it's been just a great fun time. Thanks for joining me once again, Jade. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. Great to be back.
All right, so we don't actually have a outline or a topic for this one, but we've talked about inner child healing. We've been talking about how our past affects our present. Is your primary business is like coaching in this area, right?
Yeah, coaching and inspirational speaking, and of course, podcasting.
So, of the stuff that we talked about, what do you think people have the most trouble with?
Well, I think, although we do talk about the past, and a lot of people say, let go of the past and live in the present. Living in the present has a lot to do with what we experienced in our past. So I think what challenges people the most really is, finding the source of their fears. And I think fear stops us from everything we want in life. It's either a fear of, taking risks, going outside of our comfort zone, that stops people from creating the life they want and creating the inner peace, the physical fitness levels, creating the career that they want. Everything stems from fear. That's the biggest block and limitation people have, is fearing success, being afraid of failure, being afraid of what other people think, self-rejection, and disappointing other people. I think all these are great fears that stop us from taking actions on what we want.
Is the challenge that people have in facing that primarily in being open to looking, or is it in being able to face it once they uncover it or recognize what it is that they're really afraid of at the core? Like what part of that do people seem to have the most trouble with in your experience?
Well, I think it's the pain. And I think the main fear is feeling some sort of pain. Any kind of pain, whether it's the pain of loss, whether the pain is of the fear of the pain of being rejected by others, the fear of, looking like you're incompetent, any kind of fear. We just fear feeling pain because we put so much value in what other people think rather than understanding our own value within ourselves. So, fear is the opposite of love. And when we love ourselves, then the fear is overcome. It's almost like love is a light shined in the darkness of fear.
And it sets up a really tough dynamic because we're afraid of feeling pain. So in trying to protect ourselves from that pain, we cut ourselves up from opportunities, sell ourselves short, hold back in relationships, don't let ourselves fully enjoy activities, don't try new things, and really cause pain preemptively to avoid feeling pain later on.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, if we find more value in taking action than we do in, not moving forward. I mean, if we are more passionate about the possibilities than we are about the, let's say, what's it called? Avoiding pain, right? So we're either trying to avoid pain or we're trying to gain pleasure. Those are really the two main aspects of your life. That's what's going to drive you to do something or not do something. So when you think about it, if you visualize your life as this amazing, you're living in your home of your dreams, or you're feeling at peace with yourself, you're loving yourself, you're enjoying life more, you're open, your heart is open to other people and meeting other people, and you're creating the business that you want, and things are moving along. When you're more passionate about that than you are passionate about the fears that you have, then you will move forward. So when you love yourself, right, then you have more passion for your capabilities, the possibilities, and the fears are not as strong. So it's like moving that energy around from negative to the positive aspects of your life.
And that really, and hearing you talk through that, to me, highlighted kind of the core injury of abuse, and particularly sexual abuse, because you're taking the if it's a parent, you're taking this relationship that's supposed to give you joy, that you're supposed to find comfort and love in, and it's corrupting it. And it really skews from there on out the way you look at pleasure and pain and love and acceptance and rejection and disappointment and all these things, and sets a baseline that's going to be nearly impossible for you to maintain for the rest of your life. And that's really where a lot of people run into trouble. Yeah, the actual abuse is horrible, but what you learn from it that you carry with you for the rest of your life, that's what we really need to go back and heal. That's what we're talking about when we talk about carrying your past with you throughout your whole life. It's going back to heal that inner child that is still holding on to the pain of that abuse, to allow them to let go, to show them how to let go, and to be able to re-experience what it does mean to be loved and accepted, and how to use those emotions effectively in the way they were intended. It's really powerful.
Absolutely. I think the number one aspect of living a happy life is learning to love yourself. Because when you learn to love yourself, you can learn to love others. And when you can do that, it opens up your entire world. So, learning to love yourself, knowing that you can love yourself and you are worthy of the love that you give yourself, then you'll understand your true power.
And to be able to look at life that way is like, I almost still can't believe it. Like, we're here to love, to experience joy, to thrive, and to be healthy and happy, and to engage with other people openly and authentically, and to be vulnerable. And if we can do that, everything else that we want out of life falls into place. That's like, whether you think we were created or evolved, like, we're literally made to do all those things. We can't get around it. And it's when we try and deny it and shortcut it and get around it and protect ourselves from injury and pain, that's where we really run into trouble. But if we can just like open up and love ourselves and love life and experience joy, like, that's what it's all about.
It absolutely is, Mike, and you put it perfectly. You put it perfectly. And, just I always bring up the fact that, healing, evolving, transforming your life is a process. And it's a lifelong process because you'll always be learning something new. You'll always be learning various modalities of growth, and you'll always learn more and more about who you are at the core and how you are an amazing, magnificent individual, no matter what's happened to you in your past. And it's just getting back to our authentic self, like as we were born to be. And it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't allow yourself to get down on yourself because you're not, that perfect vision of yourself yet, but you're getting there. The more and more positive information, the more and more you reach out, you will get better and better. So allow yourself that time and just continue your growth.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Jade, I want to ask you something that's slightly different. So, what's your either a book that you read recently, or like your favorite book that you've read in the not too distant future?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm actually reading this book. Can I grab my book?
Yeah.
I'm reading this book. It's called Heal Your Aloneness: Finding Love and Wholeness Through Your Inner Child, written by Erica Chopik and Margaret Paul. And it's an amazing book. What the premise of this book is, were you able to hear me with the book in front of my face?
Mostly you were talking around it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. But the premise behind this book really is the fact that if we are unhappy in our adulthood, more than likely it's because of a disconnection between our inner child and our adult self.
And
And this
is that for coaches, or is that for people who have that experience? Who's that for?
it's for anybody that's in the healing arts, anybody that understands that our experience in life comes from the inside. And if we are not happy, if we don't feel good about ourselves, there's a reason. And it's usually a disconnection between our authentic self and our human self. And our human self tends to be our adult self. Our authentic self tends to be our inner child. And when you put those two together with love, joy, wow, The possibilities are endless. And this is an amazing book that I would suggest to anybody who's going through any kind of inner child healing or any healing at all.
Yeah, I just heard somebody on a previous podcast espousing that same theme. I like it.
Who did that?
I don't know. He was
Trying to
really
remember.
smart. I don't know. I would trust him implicitly, whoever
I
it
think
was. So my
Mike Sutton.
I know. The book that I'm reading right now that I really like, and I'm reading it because I did an interview with Maritza Pera, and she said, you have to read this book, is Ask and It Is Given. It's an Abraham Hicks book. And I'm really enjoying it. I really like the idea of energy, attracting like energy and that kind of thing. And it's a really cool concept, and I had a great interview with Maritza, and I'm really enjoying that book, and so I've been getting back into reading more. For a while, I was reading a lot of books. I'd have one on my Kindle, and I'd have one in my Audible, and I'd have a paper book that I was carrying around, and I'd go through at least one a week, and then I really slowed down, and so now I'm getting back on the horse and getting through all my books now. So.
No, I think it's great. I mean, the more information, the more positive energy that we put into our minds, into our bodies, and in our surroundings. You know, who we surround ourselves with is going to give us a better aspect and perception of about life. The positivity will definitely, you know, kind of catch up into you.
Which is why
And
I wanted to get together with you again on the show, because I want to hang around positive people who make me feel good.
you know, Ask and It Is Given is one of the first books I ever read in regards to the law of attraction. And I'm now a certified law of attraction practitioner. So it is an amazing book, and it's called Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks.
Awesome.
So you're right, man. It's a great book.
It is, and I'm probably halfway through right now, so I'll update everyone when I'm done.
Hey, can we talk about that book next time we do another episode?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's great. That'd
All
be a
right.
great discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're now right at 12 minutes. So this was our fourth and final in the series. We'll have to get together and do another series like this. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, I would love that. Absolutely.
Awesome. So my podcast is Be Build Have with Mike Sutton. And I typically sign off by saying, until we speak again, be the person you want to be, build the business you want to build, and have the successful life you want to have. And I will let Jade sign off to her audience, and then we'll wrap it.
And right on, baby.
All right, there we go. Love it. Thanks, Jade.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
You're awesome.